Hello, I've been thinking about these pleats and I'm going to show you one way that I learnt to do pleats a long while ago that I really had to think, and I thought, forget about the pattern for now, forget about the pins, have a practice on a square of fabric that is the same size as your lining. So 17 by 20 by 20. And basically you're going to be doing your pleats on this bit, but have a practice with this technique. What you do is take a pencil and put it under your fabric, roll up the fabric and take your pencil out. You've got a pleat. It's almost a roll rather than a pleat, but what you can do is iron that. So that's your first one. And what I'm going to do is put a pin in that just to hold it. So what you're doing is get a pencil, put it under here. You can do 2 or 3 pleats and just tuck a bit of fabric about the same width of the pencil underneath, and then take your pencil out. And that should give you your second pleat. So you've got a second pleat there. I took the pin out. I'm going to iron that. So we'll try again. Might do a little bigger pleat this time. There. I found that was a lot easier. So Richard, try that technique. I'm going to run it through you again. And so what you do is you can straighten that up. Perhaps put a holding pin here to keep it all together. So I'm going to show you that again. So smooth down my fabric. Just have a practice. So your bottom pleat, take a pencil, put it along. Do that and roll it up. So you've just got, don't think of it as a pleat, think of it as a roll. So what you'll have is that, a little gap. And then hold that with a pin. And then we'll do another one. Roll the fabric underneath it. Take the pencil out. Oh, that's quite a good one. You can make them a bit deeper if you want. And I'm going to press that. Oops, there goes the ruler. Okay. And I'm going to do it again. And roll the fabric underneath. Now, I think that's a bit easier. And you don't have to worry about doing the marking, and then you can adjust it. Now, don't forget, it does make your mask look quite small. But as you know, when you put that on, you can concertina that up. So what I would do is, once you've done this, I'll show you how to do it on the mask. The bit that was complicated on Saturday was trying to show you how to stitch your pleats on your mask. So I'm going to show you on here. Those pins will hold this in place. So where you've got your pleats here, all you want to do is hold those pleats in position. So I think just run a stitch all the way across. Just do a running stitch, okay? Don't worry about doing them individually. Just do a running stitch, and that will be held when you turn your fabric over. Okay, this is what we do in costumes. They call it a basting stitch, which is often where you are just doing a temporary pleat until you put your seam in. Let's do a nice big stitch at the end there. Oh, hello. There we go. And what we're going to do is do your run of stitches across here. This is just my practice one. I'm going to show you again on the actual mask. And when we've done that, we'll be moving on to the elastic. I jumped the gun a little bit there, so apologies for any confusion. So what we're going to do is take our fabric. You know, you might want to use your clip. You're going to run your running stitch all the way across. This won't be seen. Or what you can do, if it is seen, it's going to be held by the seam that holds the elastic. So I'm just... Imagine when they're making kilts, this is how they do the pleats, or if any of you have made curtains, they're folds rather than pleats. I like to think of them. Pleats is a bit scary. Pleats is like putting a zip in to me, which I still haven't managed. I need somebody to show me how to put a zip in properly. Okay, so what we're going to do is take our pins out, give that a nice press. If you're using stainless steel pins, you don't have to worry about any marks. And there, I think that's quite good. So that is your practice one. I'm going to show you on the fabric again. So what I need to do, iron my fabric. So I'm going to put 3 pleats in. So I'm going to put my pencil underneath the lining, like this. And I'm going to roll. You've got to take the 2 bits of fabric, remember that. And that's my first one. Okay. My first pleat. That's using the pencil. And I'm going to pin that. Then I'm going to put the pencil again. I'm going to put it under 2 layers, roll the pencil underneath and just lift it up. And then lift your pencil out. Okay. Give that a nice little press. I think we're going for 3 pleats here. And again, a pin there. So our third and final one, put the pencil underneath the 2 layers, so it's underneath here, and roll it and then kind of catch the fabric to make our third and final pleat. When you take it out, you can just tuck it in again. Okay, there we go. So we've got 3 pleats there. Take your iron, little press. And I'm going to put a 3rd pin in there all the way through. Now what we're going to do is, to keep that, we're going to do some running stitch along there. So we all know our running stitch. And again, I'm doing this single. And if you make sure that you do it just under that line there, because that's going to be folded over, okay? You're holding your pleats in. Oops. And I'm going to hold them in this end. I'm working on a slightly different piece of fabric to my earlier one. So you'll see my edges aren't turned over neatly here, but they will be on the next piece that we do. Okay. So just give that a final stitch. I'm going to show you again one more time on another piece. Just get a nice stitch there. Okay, just go back that. Okay, take those out and you've got your pleats. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you one last time. Got a nice edge folded over. I'm going to go for my pleats, put my pencil underneath, and roll it. Just tuck it one pencil width behind. Okay. And pin that. There we go. Put that under. Now pencil width. It's fiddly, but once you've mastered that, I think you can do it. Oh, I think I've probably only got room for... No, I'm going to try and go for 3 on that one. There we go. So I'm going to take that out, and I am going to press that. And then what you do is you sew those into position, sew those into position, and then the next thing we'll do is add the elastic and turn over. See you in a minute.